Southern Baptists. They are still losing members. Apparently, they've hit a 50-year low, losing 250,000 members. It's yeah, things aren't looking good for them. Now, if you know these guys, it's not that surprising. One, a lot of religious congregations are losing their members, but it's even less surprising for Southern Baptists because holy are they truly a grotesque organization. Yeah, they're losing members, but it's really funny because on their Lifeway survey, which by the way, Life for those who don't know, Lifeway is it's basically a survey that gets sent to their churches to report how many baptisms are done, how many members they're gaining or losing, and like stuff like that. And every time they point out how they're losing members, they brag about how many more baptisms they've gotten done. So they've had a 2% decline from 2023, and however, more than 250,000 baptisms represent a more than 10% jump over 2023, and the most since 2017. That means nothing. Those people can still leave. Not to mention, your numbers are still going down. That means fucking nothing. And by the way, I got this article from Friendly Atheist. I highly recommend checking him out. He's the main inspiration behind this talk show. Which, by the way, if you're new to this talk show, consider subscribing and hitting the bell. I'm going to be posting a lot. I'll be posting maybe 2 times a week. And I'm going to be improving my craft as time goes on, too, because I've never hosted a talk show. But yeah, Southern Baptist. In case you haven't heard of them, like I said, they are a truly fucking terrible group. How terrible? Well, here are the reasons why people are leaving. And even if you've never heard of them, you can probably guess. One, their members are dying. It's mostly Southern Baptists are mostly old people, and the only people that are joining are parents forcing their kids to participate, and those kids and maybe those parents are bound to also leave. Two, the most common reason, or the second most common reason most people are leaving organized religion in general and their churches in general, LGBTQ hatred. In fact, Southern Baptists are heavily anti-LGBT, and I'm going to show you an interview from their most recent president that really hammers in that fact. They don't support gay marriage, they support conversion therapy, and it's hilarious how often the Southern Baptist compares being LGBT to pedophilia, given SBC's horrible record of child abuse and their terrible implementation of background checks. And like the Catholic Church, they have been constantly fighting against extending the statute of limitations for child abuse cases, and have repeatedly defended those who have abused children in their ranks. And keep in mind, that drop doesn't just apply to people who are dying or who are leaving SBC's churches themselves. It's also churches leaving SBC because of all the reasons I just described, and for the reasons I'm about to go over. One of them being their disdain for women in power. SBC has threatened churches for simply having women in their ranks. They don't allow women to be pastors. They don't allow them to have any position of power in churches. Not to mention, they've pushed out black pastors too. And many churches love their black and female pastors. So they look at what SBC is offering them and says, we don't need you fuckers. So they leave. If you look at their Lifeway surveys, they don't mention any of this. They don't, despite these reasons being the main reasons people are leaving, they're not addressing those at all. Now, they did address the people dying, but they refused to address the main reasons. Again, the anti-LGBT hate, the pushing out of women and black pastors, the multiple sex abuse scandals. In fact, despite all the sex abuse scandals they've been dealing with, only 53% of the churches Lifeway surveyed from them have background checks. If you want to work at a fucking Burger King, you gotta go through background checks. If you have that kind of record, they're not gonna allow you near children. Yet you can become a pastor if you have a hideous sex abuse record. What the fuck? So what kind of, even at minimum, decent parent is going to want to put their kid in a church where any fucking person can join the ranks, because again, no background checks at almost most of these churches. And let's talk about their fucking president, because, well, I mean, not current president, his term is running out, but holy shit. I stumbled upon this interview with Bart Barber, that's his name. He went on 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper. It really shows you, this guy really shows you where this organization's mind is at. He told Anderson Cooper, who is, again, an openly gay journalist, that he could not be a good Christian and Southern Baptist if he's gay. Oh, and he gets so much worse. Get ready for this shit. They also attack trans people, and he also endorses conversion therapy, which is just fucking torture. It doesn't work, and it's repeatedly not worked. He denounces gay marriage, which, I mean, yeah, that isn't surprising. And while thankfully he doesn't believe in the 2020 election fraud conspiracy, he admits he voted for Trump in 2020. Which, I mean, voting for Trump whatsoever should be like a sign you're a piece of shit. He supports the combination of church and state, and believes that 10-year-olds should be forced to carry their pregnancies to term. Which, by the way, if you even slightly agree with that sentiment, you're just a fucking pedophile. And sees child as better than killing someone. Yeah, this guy is a lot, and he was the most recent president for this group. No wonder people are leaving this fucking group. And they have no one to blame but themselves for this drop in fucking attendance. In fact, as recently as 2024, I just discovered this, they sent a letter to Trump asking them to prioritize restricting abortion and rolling back LGBTQ rights. This is their priority. Not serving the community. No. Straight up taking away the rights of people who are different than them.